Okay, hello YouTube. This is the Canadian Greek coming at you with another Comet Ison update. Um, some interesting turn of events, but um, I'm a little disappointed with the amount of information coming out about Ison, and not just information, but with the amount of material that's available out there on Comet Ison right now. But let's get to it because we've got quite a bit to get through. So let's get to it. We'll start with Bruce Gary. Okay. This is Bruce Gary's website, and let's see what we have down here. Standard jet analysis. Okay. Tony Scarmato has used AstroArt to enhance the spatial structure in Comet Ison images. He says there is a jet pointed toward the sun, similar to what was seen in the Hubble Space Telescope images taken in April and May of 2013. I'm trying to reproduce the jet structure, and it's too early for me to concur in their presence. This is an important thing to verify, okay? For it might allow for the determination of the nucleus rotation period and possible its orientation. Knowing if one pole is pointed to the sun is an important goal, for it could explain the fading brightness since conjunction after adjustment for Earth changes in Earth-comet distance. Here are his enhanced images, most recent at top. Now, there's nothing here really for me to show you, but what does it, well, this says two things. What did I say in my last video? That if there's a jet constantly pointing forward, that means Ison is flying. And what does he say now here? For it might allow for the determination of the nucleus rotation period and possible its orientation. Is it flying or is it tumbling through space? Way to play catch up there, Gary, but I already covered that in my last video. There's nothing really else new here. There's more images now that he's added, with Ison showing the jet in front, which I still say is not happening. And of course, we already seen these images. We go back to the beginning now, okay, with peculiar structure in the inner tail. By the way, they continue with that peculiar structure up until today. So obviously I still stand by what I said in my previous video. I believe either Ison has brought in extraneous objects, it's brought in trash with it through the asteroid belt, but for the time being, I'm not convinced that there's a sun-facing jet. Okay, that there's a sunward jet. Okay, I think that something else is going on with this comet, and I think come January we're going to be feeling its debris. Anyways, moving along. I wish I had some more images to show you guys, but any images that I've been able to find have been extremely uninteresting and show nothing new for me to show you. This is interesting though, however, an article. Okay, monumental solar system changes and fire in the sky. Planet Mars gone comet. Professor James McCanney declares that Mars has acquired a coma from its electrical interaction with Comet Ison. The principal reason for the government shutdown of NASA. Okay, I'll just read some of this article here. In the following interview conducted on the 2nd of October with host John Moore on the Republic Broadcasting Network, a renowned author and astrophysicist Professor James M. McCanney declared that planet Mars has acquired a coma resulting from the electrical interaction with Comet Ison. McCanney states that Comet Ison approached and is now past Mars. Mars went comet. I and other people observed it. The coma around Mars is extremely visible. This is an event that we have not seen in thousands of years. He postulates that this is the primary reason for the swift halt to the operations of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, following the shutdown of the United States federal government. Okay, that's all I'm going to read from that. However, there are no updated pictures here with Comet Ison and Mars going comet. And I've been able to find no pictures like that anywhere, by the way. Some of the pictures here you guys have already seen from my previous videos. I know you've seen that one, and I know you've seen that one. So they're basically, okay, I agree with the fact that I think NASA was shut down to prevent any further viewing of what's happening with Mars. Is it getting pelted by debris? Is it not? We don't know. Is Mars experiencing a meteor shower? Very interesting questions, don't you think? And we have no eyes in the sky right now, except for what we can get from ground-based telescopes, and most of that is coming from amateurs, you know, with like 11-inch celestrons like Bruce Gary. Okay. So let's move along, and I'll recap everything in the end and give you my final thoughts. This is James McCanney's website. Okay. On October 5th, 2013, early AM, the storm systems that have been raging over the USA, tornadoes all over the place, and severe thunderstorms, and the Gulf of Mexico tropical storm Karen, could they be a result of Comet Ison? It is clear that Comet Ison interacting with Mars the other day was the key that triggered the solar storm that produced low-latitude auroras around the world on October 2nd and the 3rd. As I announced on my show this week, what appears to have happened is that the solar pulse went by Earth, but as we catch up to it in the solar system, we are then being affected as we discharge this local flare. Oddly enough, a couple of shows ago, a listener asked the question, and I went into detail about exactly such a hypothetical event. The sun itself is very low energy and is not directly causing the severe weather we are seeing. This tells me it was the CME that left the sun about a week ago, and that Earth is reacting to it. This enhanced by the new moon passing tonight a little earlier than normal. In other words, Earth is going comet. Our severe weather is the end result. Okay, so Earth is already going comet with Ison so far away. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I think it's just a case of the solar storm. We did get a CME impact, and of course that did cause auroras, and it really, shook our magnetic shield. And of course that's going to have effects on the weather as well. But I don't think that Ison has anything to do with us at this point, even though we did just pass a conjunction. But I don't think that has anything to do with it at this point. That's my opinion, of course. Not you just heard James McCanney's opinion because I just read it. In my search for photos, I was not able to find anything that was useful as far as Mars. By the way, I searched Mars going comet, Mars goes comet. I searched all sorts of different variations and plays on the word and searched for images, and I was able to come up with nada. Which is kind of peculiar if you ask me. I mean, James McCanney has been a proponent of, and he has been, by the way, of the electric universe theory for such a long time, and he observed Mars going comet, okay, developing a coma, okay, due to the electrical interactions between it and Ison. You think he'd be publishing photos of that all over the place, um, just to vindicate himself, for because he's been persecuted for his theories, etc., etc., etc. Right? Why are there no pictures? Why is there nothing? It really, I have to ask the question, because that's the kind of person I am. Of course, I always question what's going on and why we haven't seen anything from his observations. Of course, I'm going to have to take Professor McCanny at his word for the time being, that Mars did go comet. It did get a coma, although I have seen no physical evidence um, that would, substantially, that would, prove it to me 100%. You know. Anyways, um, that's about it for now. This is probably not going to be a very long one. Bruce Gary, like I said earlier, way to play catch up, brother. Space weather has I've been able to find no other images, just a few articles, and that's about it for now. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long. This is the Canadian Greek. I'll keep you informed with any updates, anything else that I come up with. I'm out.